Yep. Hey, I'm Nutty Rock Chick, and yes, Nutty Rock Chick is on Dalyxman channel, but there's a very good reason for this. Look, I was just in a video, a live chat type thing that a friend of mine was doing with a group of other YouTubers, and they were coming out with several things about a very good friend of mine, the gentleman whose channels you're watching, your boy Dalyxman, and my boy Dalyxman. And I kind of wanted to come on with Dalyxman, who is on Skype and listening to us as we speak, and actually address some of the points that these people were coming out with, because a lot of it just lacks some serious common sense. Right. One of the first things they were talking about is the fact that he has a Patreon account. Now, the whole point of Patreon was that it was initially created so that people who wanted to support YouTube creators could. That's the point of Patreon. It wasn't set up as a charity thing. It wasn't set up for anything like that. It was set up for this purpose. So he's not misusing it. He's not using something that's a charity-based thing. He's using the correct software that was created for YouTubers to allow their fans who wanted to help them get better equipment, produce better quality videos, etc., etc. That's the point of it. Right. It says on his Patreon that it's in no way a demand. If people want to give out of the goodness of their hearts, then great. If they don't, that's fine. There seems to be a kind of messed up mentality that because of the sort of person Dalyxman is, if I call him Alex, I apologise. I do slip into that occasionally. I apologise in advance. Because of the sort of person he is, he felt if a subscriber was giving him some money to help boost his channel, they should get some sort of benefit from that. So he set up different levels. So if you give more money, you get more stuff, which is fair enough. But for some reason, people have looked at it and gone, oh, so you can only have a conversation with him if you pay his Patreon. That's never actually been said. That's never been implied. What was brought up was that when Dalyxman does a live review, there's a chat box. Now, granted, if you've got maybe 500 subscribers and about 20, 30 people watch you live stream, then yes, you can keep up with that conversation. When you've got 16,000 subscribers, and if even 500 people are talking at the same time, there is no way in hell you can follow that chat box.
No.
So at some point, somebody had put in the chat, oh, I'd love to do a video with you. He genuinely didn't see it. Every so often, he puts a note in the chat box, go and take a look at my Patreon. So somebody who was sat watching the video and not seen his channel generally, had just come into this, had just seen, can I do a video with you? Go to my Patreon. So they jumped on the bandwagon and said, the only way you can make a video with him is if you pay him. No. That's not what was said. That's not even nearly what was said. That's you jumping to a conclusion. Right, that having been said, I had 1,000 subscribers when I got to sort of my peak on YouTube, which was when Dalyxman and several of the ones that are quite well known now were just starting out. And we've had conversations that literally started at 11 o'clock my time and finished at 5 o'clock in the morning on several occasions. So I actually know the person behind the channel. Now, even with a 1,000 subscribers, which is obviously 16 times less than is it 17 or 16?
17,000 subscribers.
Fuck me. Yeah. Sorry, excuse my language.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Yeah, because he has such a massive amount of subscribers, in relation, maybe I only got 10 different people that I'd never spoken to ask me to do a video with them. And when 10 different people ask you and you say no, they're like, oh, fair enough, and they bugger off. When you say no to hundreds of people, people will turn around and say, he won't make videos with anybody. So, he couldn't win if he just said, no, I won't do videos with anybody who isn't a friend and that I don't trust and that isn't going to be right for my channel. That being said, if even with the best intention in the world, you cannot make videos with everybody who asks you to make videos with them. Because you literally, even if you were making videos from first thing in the morning to last thing at night, there isn't enough time in the world to do that. And the content would not be of the quality that you expect when you come to a channel that has 20,000 subscribers. It wouldn't be. And it's not fair to say, to expect somebody to make videos with everybody. So, when he was creating his Patreon, he thought, well, I'll give people the opportunity that if they're genuine fans, and if they're putting money into what I do, and they want to help out, and they want to push my channel forward, I'll give them the opportunity that if they're going to do that, to make a video with me, or to have a Skype call with me, or that sort of thing. And now he's getting criticised for that. Seriously, what do you want him to do? He can't make a video with everybody. If he makes a video with nobody, he's an arsehole. And if he gives people the opportunity to make videos with him because they're good fans who support him, he's an arsehole for doing that too. I'm sorry, but get your head out your arses. Seriously, if you have a way of doing this that you think is fair, that doesn't mean doing it with everybody, doesn't mean doing it with nobody, doesn't mean, I mean, why should he not give people who want to help him the ability to get something nice for it? I mean, a hell of a lot of YouTubers don't even do that. They just take the money and say thank you very much. They don't offer any sort of incentive. Or they stop making content. As he said, his content is free. It's always gonna be free. He's not asking you to pay for extra content, which 90% of the big YouTubers do. They've gone onto YouTube Plus and they're asking you to pay for their content. He's not doing that, but do you know what I mean? You're not being fair. Okay.
Oh.
So that's the Patreon bit.
And if you don't mind, I do want to stop right here and just make one little comment. It's I remember I'm subscribed to many other YouTubers that don't do wrestling videos, but there's this one guy called Markiplier. Don't know if you know who that guy is, but Markiplier is a gamer. He has a gaming channel. Has over 11 million subscribers, and same situation. He doesn't do Patreon, but um. when it comes to collabs, I think he's only collabed with, dare I say, like 3 people on YouTube, and he's made tons of friends. But he's only done collabs with like 3 people. I don't see people. I'm guarantee you, people have been asking him, "Would you please do a video with me? Would you please do a video with me?" He can't, and the reason one is because he probably doesn't trust a lot of people that closely to do videos with him. One, but also it's the whole idea, like what you just said. If he was to allow one person to come up to him and say, "Hey, can I do a video with you?" and then he goes, "Yeah, sure." Imagine the millions, the thousands of people he has to do it with then, because it can't be fair to say, "Okay, I'll do it with you," and not with these other people. So, like what you just said with my Patreon, I didn't feel right asking people to donate for my microphone and my camera and not give them anything back for it. So I felt like, hey, if you did this, here's some rewards for you. The whole idea that I would make people, pay me to talk to them on Skype. Never in my life have I done that. That was never the case. I talk to you on Skype pretty much very often. You haven't paid me a dime, and that's because it's nothing that I would do at all. And the whole idea of I had to pay me to do a video with you. No, the reviews are for people who donated the most. It's I just felt like I should clear that up and just pretty much confirm or just reiterate what Nuggy's been saying, because it's ridiculous that people would even think that way. And when the content's out there, my Patreon page is out there, my video is out there explaining everything. But yes, sorry, I just wanted to make that point. Go ahead and continue.
No, that's absolutely fine. This is what I'm saying, is that a lot of people have been hearing what a few people have taken out of context, and those people are then getting a negative opinion of this channel because of something that's been taken out of context, which isn't fair to you. It's not fair to the people who are subscribed to you, because they appreciate your opinion. The other point that I really wanted to make was during the video, this chat video that I was in. They were saying that you occasionally, the way you put things, it sounds like you're saying that people are stupid if they don't appreciate something, or people are stupid if they think something's good when you don't think it is. There is a big difference between what you say when you're in the middle of a passionate rant and what you say when you have a level head. And 9 times out of 10, when things like that are said, they're said in the intent of, I don't understand what people see in it, and it's meant as an invitation for a conversation. It's not meant as an insult. It's not meant to put your fandom down. It's just meant as, I don't get it. Maybe you can tell me what it is you see in it, and we can both get a better appreciation.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Exactly. You nailed it. Yes.
And
yes.
this has been taken out of all proportion. The other thing that annoys me about a lot of these people who've been trying to pull apart what this channel does, is they have a bad habit of going, he's a fan of this, therefore he thinks X, 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 without actually listening to what he says. So, Preston is a Rey Mysterio fan. Dalyxman, as you all know who watch him, is a Daniel Bryan fan. Does that mean that he isn't a fan of somebody else just because he's a Daniel Bryan fan? No. Does that mean that he doesn't like things that are funny because he only likes technical wrestling if he's a Daniel Bryan fan? No. Liking one thing does not mean that you don't like everything else. Just because you have a fandom for one thing and you are passionate about that thing, and you come a point that Alex brought up, and it's very true, of everybody who goes onto YouTube, especially those of us who came in the early days of YouTube. Most of us came to this forum because we felt like we didn't have people in our lives we could share our passions with. Whether that's gaming channels, whether that's LGBT channels, whether that's Twilight fandom channels, whatever your fandom is, you came to this forum to talk to other people that are passionate about what you're a fan of. You didn't come here to put other people down. That's not why we're here. None of us came here for that. We came here to share our passion. And somewhere along the line, it's become a reason to criticise someone. And I just think that's so wrong. Because the whole point of doing this, and it's why I walked away, our fandom changes over time. When we first see something that we like, we're excited about it, and everything seems really good. Everything seems absolutely fantastic, and that's great. As a new fan, yeah, everything is amazing. You love it all because it's great and shiny and new and pretty. But when you mature as a fan, you do see flaws that you didn't see as a younger fan. That doesn't mean the younger fans have a less valid fandom. All it means is that you have a different perspective. And that happens as your tastes mature. As much as part of you will still love the cartoons you watched as a child, you wouldn't necessarily still see them in the same way. You'd see them as something nostalgic. You wouldn't see them in the same way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where my favorite TV show when I was a kid was Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So anytime it would come on, I would be like, "Oh my god, it's amazing! It's awesome!" I can go back and I can find it on YouTube. And I think would I like it? Yeah, I think I would enjoy it. But would it give me the exact same feeling as I did when I was a kid? No, I don't think it would. And I think a lot of times, a lot of us are looking for something that will recapture how we felt as a kid. And what ends up happening is we don't get that feeling. So instead of expanding and looking for different things that, expanding our taste, which is what I've done, and which is what people like Nutty, me and Nutty have done. We've expanded our taste to other things besides what we grew up with. And we still appreciate what we grew up with, but we appreciate other aspects of it as well. It's not necessarily that our tastes have changed, or they've gone to something differently has changed, but they've changed in the sense that we appreciate other aspects about what we do.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to say. And none of us think that any other fan is any less of a fan than we are. You're not a better fan if you've watched every indie ever. You're not a better fan if you've been watching, if you happen to be born in 1970 and have been watching since 1970. You're not a better fan than someone who started watching in 2000. You're just a different fan. And yes, when we get passionate, when we get excited, when we get frustrated, we sometimes slip and we'll say things like, "Oh, that was so annoying. I can't believe anyone thought that was good." We're not saying that if you thought that was good, you're bad. We're just expressing our passion. And if we become so ridiculously PC that we can't be passionate about what we love, then this society is truly messed up.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things where it's, let's just use my Nikki Bella video, for example, which has gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of controversial responses. It's one of those things where, look, okay, I don't like Nikki Bella. I don't think she's the best female wrestler 2015. Other people do. And they express themselves in a way by saying, hey, she might not be as good of a wrestler as Sasha Banks, but she worked harder and she's done a lot more on the main roster than Sasha Banks did. But that's the whole point, though. The whole point is not to sit here and go, my opinion is the right opinion, and you don't believe it, you are wrong. You should leave YouTube and the internet and never be a wrestling fan again. No, what I'm saying is, guys, this is how I see it. This is how I view things. This is how I feel. I don't get why you guys think this way. Maybe if you would explain it to me, that would work out. That's what I'm doing. It's like, no, you said it's an invitation to open up conversation. And I would think that people who are, I'm trying to watch my words here. I would think the people who do get what I'm coming from, the first thing they would do is go, you know what? I'm going to go leave a comment on his channel explaining why I think Nikki Bella is actually deserving of this. Or I'll make a video about it to continue the conversation. What I don't get is an example of this. I don't get why people, when the first thing they go to when they see someone like me say stuff like, I don't think Nikki Bella is a good wrestler, or I don't think she's the best female wrestler in 2015, is, oh, well, you're stupid, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not a real wrestling fan. It's just like, that does nothing. That doesn't advance the conversation. That doesn't really prove your point. What just happened is you just got angry at what I said. What did we change here? That's not how it should work. How it should work is I make a point, you make a different point, and we just go from there.
Some of the other things that have been brought up, most of it is, to a certain degree, people don't seem to understand that as fans we change over time. The way we view things changes, and there is nothing wrong with that. What I will say, and it's a point that I did make to Dalyxman in the conversation we had before we did this video, is that the people that I struggle with, and it's the reason I walked away, are the people who the only reason they are still watching is because they have a YouTube channel about it. Those people, I'm not interested in what they have to say, because they don't have any passion left for what they're watching. And if you're forced to watch something, you're not going to appreciate it. You're not going to find the little bits of light. And I think maybe those people are the ones that probably should have stopped watching a long time ago. But Dalyxman is not one of those people. If he really got to the point where in, well, let's say a month, and everything he watched, he didn't find anything good in any of it, he would not watch. He would stop making videos. It would be the end.
Right.
He keeps coming on here and sharing his passion because he still has that passion. And I think some people need to get their heads out of their arses and stop picking at every little thing he says and taking things out of context and blowing things out of proportion, because he's a fan, you're a fan. Video gold is he made bloody 3 years ago. I'm a serial fan. Go and look it up on YouTube. Type in I am a serial fan, because that is a commentary on fandom. And we are all fans. Respect each other, people. That's all I'm saying. And I think I've ranted on for like 26 minutes, so I'm going to shut the hell up now. I'm going to give you back your boy Dalyxman. I'm going to peace out. I'm going to say love and respect to everybody who's a fan. I really hope we get Sammy and Kevin Owens at Mania, and that will be my win for Mania. Because I'm an older fan, I don't necessarily appreciate all the product, but there are bits that I love, and I've always loved, and I hope you do too. So I hope you have a fantastic new year. Peace and blessings. I'm out.
Peace out, guys.